Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the North Hills. Whatever your faith and traditions of your past, we welcome you. Whatever your theological stance, we welcome you. Whoever you are and whomever you love, we welcome you. Wherever you come from and whatever your journey has been, we welcome you. My name is Erin Terizzi, and I am your lay leader for today. Our Sunday services are as diverse as we are, so if you are visiting our church for the first time, please come back several times before you draw any conclusions about us. Newcomers and guests are always welcome to participate in any of our church activities. If we have any newcomers or guests with us this morning, we invite you to introduce yourselves. Please raise your hand and someone will come by with a microphone.
Hi, I'm Erica Bloomer, and I've lived in the area for almost 2 years next month. I'm originally from the Pittsburgh area, so I've heard about the boomerang effect, and that has brought me back to Pittsburgh. I've got 4 kids ranging in age from 14 to 23. My husband would probably like to be here with me, but he still works in South Dakota, where we relocated from. So I've been getting the emails and reading the newsletters every week for the past year and a half. I had a conversation on the phone with Chuck about a year and a half ago, and this is the first chance I've actually had to come in and visit, so I'm happy to be here.
Oh, well, welcome. Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Amy Davis, and I'm very new to Pittsburgh. I was born and raised in Honolulu, Hawaii, and I've traveled to several places, but my last residence was in Columbia, South Carolina. And I've been visiting non-denominational churches, and this is my second Sunday here, and I enjoyed it last Sunday very much. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Anyone else? All right, well, please join us for coffee hour following the service. We now take a moment to acknowledge that the land we stand on was taken from the local indigenous people. Inspired by their culture, may we strive to become better stewards of the earth. Again, welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the North Hills. It is good to be together, both in person and virtually.
Good morning. I'm Robin Travers. I'm going to be helping in the service today. Our monthly liturgical, I probably said that wrong, liturgical theme is heritage. So in recognition of Hispanic Heritage Month, which started September 15th and is concluding today, October 15th, we're honoring the harvesters, the migrant labor workers who harvest the produce, fruits, and vegetables that we enjoy year-round. Today is a multi-generational service. There will not be a separate story for Time for All Ages, but it'll kind of be throughout. If your children become restless, Violet is in the back. She has some coloring pages, particularly of the person we're going to talk about today, and migrant workers. So you're welcome to go back there and sit with her and draw and things like that if you want to. We will have some interactive parts of today, so we appreciate participation from everyone, including the kids, but from everyone involved. That would be great. We begin today's service with a prayer from the words of Reverend Suzanne Milner. It's eternal God, Mother, Father, and Spirit of life. Eternal God, Mother and Father, Spirit of life, we gather grateful for the companionship of hearts and minds seeking to speak the truth in love. We gather grateful for our heritage, for the women and men who before us whose prophetic words and deeds make possible our dreams and our insight. We gather grateful for the gift of life itself, mindful that to respect life means to both celebrate life as it is and to insist on what it can become. May we always rejoice in life and work to cultivate a sense of giftedness. But may we also heed the call to transformation and growth. May we find in ourselves the strength to face our adversities, the integrity to name them, the vision to overcome them. May we honor in pride the heroines and heroes of our past. But may we also keep company with the fallen, the broken, and the oppressed. For in the dazzling of the noonday's heat, and in the star-studded shimmering lights of night, rich blackness, we are they. Amen.
The flaming chalice is a symbol of our faith as we join with other UU churches and fellowships in this familiar ritual. As we light the chalice in our sanctuary, we also welcome those of you viewing remotely to light your own chalice. Our chalice lighting this morning is a quote from Dolores Huerta. I think the importance of doing activist work is to engage people and give them hope. Hope for a better world, hope for a better tomorrow, hope that we can change, hope that change is possible and that they can be a part of the transformation. Please rise and body your spirit if you are willing or able, and join us in singing our opening hymn, Give Thanks, number 69 in the gray hymnal. The words will also appear on the screen.
Good morning. I'm Ruth Horwitz from the Lay Pastoral Care Team. During our service, we create this sacred space for sharing within our community. It is a time to share significant life passages with the congregation so that you can be held in loving care. I'll be reading the joys and sorrows this morning, and Susan Powers will be placing a stone representing each joy or sorrow in the sand. The sand represents our congregation, supporting our sorrows and lifting up our joys. Today we have two joys. A joy from Liz Perkins. My joy is that our own Matt Mihalik is running for re-election to the school board of the Pine Ridgeland School District. Matt has served on the school board since 2018, and we are very excited that he is running for re-election on November 7th. Serving on a school board is a vital way of contributing to the health of our communities, and we are grateful to Matt for contributing his time and energy to this important job. To Liz and Matt, we say, we share in your joy. A joy from Peggy Trevanian. I am currently with my granddaughter, Eleanor. She started gene therapy for treatment of her cancer. She is in good spirits, busy making jewelry for the church sale. To Peggy and Eleanor, we say, we share in your joy. And we now place one more stone in the sand for all the joys and sorrows that exist in our hearts but remain unspoken today. From far and near, please say with me our caring words. Let us hold in our circle of caring each person here. Let us hold in our hearts those who are unable to be with us today. Let us hold in our memories those who have moved on. Let us find comfort in knowing that we are not alone.
Today, we will be exploring the story of activist and teacher Dolores Huerta. In Dolores Huerta, A Hero to Migrant Workers, which was written by Sarah Warren and illustrated by Robert Casillo. Dolores is a teacher. Her students are too hungry to listen. They're too sick to play. They have no shoes to wear at recess. Do you think the children were able to learn at school like that? Dolores is a detective. She follows the kids home. She asks the moms why the kids are hungry and sick. She asks the dads why the children don't have shoes. The parents say their bosses don't pay enough money for good food or new clothes or to visit the doctor. These parents work hard. They pick grapes all morning. They pick grapes all afternoon. They pick grapes into the night, but they are paid too little for shoes, and shoes cost too much. Can you imagine working so hard and not having medicine or food? Dolores is a friend. The farm workers tell her their stories. They don't get fresh water. They don't get bathroom breaks. They work hard. Their hard work is worth more than they are paid. Friends look out for each other, so Dolores decides to take a stand. Dolores is a warrior. She walks right up to the bosses. She asks them to give the workers rest breaks and to let them stay home when they're sick. She asks each boss to pay the workers enough money for shoes and books and medicine. They say no. The bosses say that if they give the workers more money, they will have to raise the price of grapes. Then nobody will buy them. This excuse is not good enough. The kids need food. The kids need medicine. The kids still need shoes. So let's take a minute and look at some of the fruits and vegetables that we eat every day provided for us by migrant workers. These pictures are from an article called They Feed Us from Huffington Post. So this is a migrant worker. He's harvesting lettuce. Go to the next one. These guys are harvesting tobacco. We don't need that, but you know, people do. These people are harvesting watermelons in Indiana. Harvesting parsley in Colorado late into the evening. Strawberries in California. Pumpkins in Illinois. Looks fun, but doesn't that seem like backbreaking too, throwing a pumpkin? I mean, after like the second one, I'd be like, I'm done, right? It's crazy. He's harvesting kale in Colorado. Zucchini. There's a lot of them in Colorado, surprisingly. There's a lot of migrant workers in a lot of places in Colorado. Spinach. You can see how many of them there are, all working hard. Oranges in Florida. And in this picture, 18-month-old Vanessa sleeps in a field while her mother is picking onions, because they don't have money for childcare. Just wanted to share that a little bit, especially for the little guys among us, and all those of us among us, to remind us that when we eat these foods, when we buy them in the grocery store, there are people doing the work picking them. I think we all know that intrinsically, but it's good to see faces of the people that are doing that. Get this one to you, Maren.
In honor of the in honor and recognition of the fight for migrant labor workers' rights, which continues to this day, our meditation is on the power of we, with words by Alandra Williams. Put your feet down, because we are about to do embodiment. If you want to, you can close your eyes. Breathe in and breathe out. When you hear the word liberation, liberatory spirit, liberatory life, liberatory possibilities, what does that conjure in your soul? When you hear, we are the liberating force, spirit, light, and love, what does that conjure in your spirit? When you hear that we have the power to transform the world around us, what does that mean to your bones? When you hear, we are the people that we have been waiting for, we are, how does that feel in your blood? We are the light, we are the wisdom, we are the ancestors. We are those yet to come. How do we feel all of that about ourselves? Open your eyes. Look at the people around you and go out and organize.
Okay, so back to our story of Dolores. Dolores is an organizer. She asked the people to strike. They will not work until the bosses start to listen. Instead of picking grapes, the workers stand outside the farms. They shout, they sing, they write strike, and yes, it can be done on signs that hold up high. Dolores is a storyteller. She tells stories that show why their farms are not healthy places to work. She tells shoppers, she tells crowds, she tells television reporters, she tells senators, mayors, and governors. Many people listen. Some people don't. I want you to take a minute and maybe talk to your neighbor next to you. Can you tell a story to your neighbor about a time when you stood up for someone who needed help? You guys share stories with each other? We'll take about 2 minutes to do that. Just a story of a time you stood up for someone who needed help. You stood up for someone?
What? I did a couple of times. No, after one of my friends was from Pakistan, and a bunch of us got together and we, took her to classes. For a couple of days, just to make sure that I mean, anytime we go to like a rally, anytime, we go to a march, it seems I have been thirsty like for a month or two. My lips like purple.
I never get to ring the bell. Dolores likes bells, so she likes to ring bells too during her protest. Thank you. I hope you all had some interesting conversations, learned something a little bit new about each other. Me and Aaron had up here, learned a lot of interesting things, so appreciate that. But we're going to get back to our story again because we've got a lot to say about Dolores. So Dolores is a peacemaker. She doesn't use violence to make the bosses pay attention. She grabs them with her words. She encourages the workers to use their voices, too, until the bosses learn how to be fair. Dolores is a mother. Changing the bosses' minds take a long time, and she misses her kids. The mothers and fathers on strike miss their kids too. While some workers argue with the bosses, others watch the children play and keep them safe. Dolores is a woman. Some people think she should quiet down and let the men do the talking. Ooh, Dolores. That's not in my house. All right. Dolores, she just gets louder. She asks other women to speak up too. Their voices rise up together, booming over the farm, roaring into the city, rumbling across the country. Just take a minute and think of some strong women you know. There's a lot of them in this room right now. But in this era for her, this was not okay. This was, I guess, 70s, I think. So it was, women weren't really supposed to speak up. So she was really a leader amongst women. Dolores is a fortune teller. She predicts the future. She tells the bosses that if they don't pay the workers well for their hard work, the workers will stop picking the grapes, and the grapes will rot. She tells the bosses that if people hear workers are mistreated, nobody will buy their grapes. All of Dolores' predictions come true. The farms become empty, the grapes left on the vines. Nobody will pick them, and nobody will buy them. Finally, the strike begins to work. The bosses tell the workers that if they come back, they can take rest breaks. The bosses will raise their pay. The workers will get money to buy food and medicine and shoes for the children. The workers are happy, but Dolores is not finished. Dolores is a hunter. She hunts for other bosses who need to take better care of their workers. Dolores tells them to listen, or else. Dolores is a teacher. She teaches people how to work as a team. She teaches people how to take care of each other. This is Dolores.
Jamás será vencido el pueblo unido, jamás será vencido el pueblo unido, jamás será vencido.
Oh,
Sí
my
se puede.
Oh my goodness. Look, this is Dolores Huerta. She's here in this service this morning. Dolores, how are you doing
Hola
today?
y buenos días. I am just so excited to be here today. I'm so happy to see you all here, talking about the harvesters. It's so good to hear that because it's very important to honor the hands that harvest our crops. I call myself an addicted organizer. But, every single day we sit down and we eat our breakfast and our lunch and our dinner, and that's food that's planted and picked and harvested by farm workers. So why is it that the people that do the most sacred work in our nation are often the most oppressed, the most exploited? And why is it that the farm workers who feed our nation, but they can't get food stamps? Where's my bell? We need to keep ringing the bell for democracy together. Farm workers are like a symbol, and it's good that people are finally paying attention.
It is indeed. How did you first learn about the farm workers?
Well, my dad did farm work, and also I was born during the Great Depression. My father had to migrate to the states of Wyoming and Nebraska following the sugar beet crops. So when we were very small, we went along with my dad, and we lived in these tar paper shacks and saw the life that the farm workers live. Professional farm workers who do a number of different jobs, whether it's pruning or picking or crafting, they see themselves as professionals. They take a lot of pride in their work. They don't see themselves as doing work that's terrible or demeaning, but the conditions were terrible. The farm workers were only earning 70 cents an hour, maybe 90 cents at the highest. And they didn't have toilets in their fields, and they didn't have drinking water, and they worked from sun up till sundown without rest periods. And the people were so poor, but they worked so hard. It was really atrocious. And the children were suffering. And I said, this is wrong. Because you saw how hard they were working, and you see they were not getting paid anything. And so as a youngster and a Latina, you see so much injustice. And this is why I quit teaching, because I couldn't stand seeing the hungry kids come to my class and needing shoes. And I thought I can do more organizing the farm workers than by trying to teach their hungry children.
That sounds like a great idea. But how did you get started, and how did you lead the way for others?
Well, how did I convince 11 million people to stop buying grapes? Going door to door and talking to people, convincing them to vote. That's what I call organizing 101. When you are organizing a group of people, the first thing we do is talk about the history of what other people have been able to accomplish. People who look like them, workers just like them, ordinary people, working people. We give them a list. These are the people who are just like yourself. And this is what they were able to do in their community. We just have to convince other people that they have power. This is what they can do participating in making the change. This is what they can do not only in their community, but in changing in their own lives. And once they participate, they get a sense of their own power. When I learned about grassroots organizing, I got so enamored with it because I thought, wow, this is the way you do it. And you see the outcomes and the results, and you see how many people are helped and benefiting, and you want to keep on doing it because it's so simple. People might say to me, who is a leader? But a leader is a person who does the work. It's very simple. It's a personal choice for people who choose to put their time and their commitment, and it's a personal choice. When you choose to give up your time and your resources to participate in community work, that's what makes a leader.
Yes, that is so true. We were just talking about strong women earlier, right? I did say it. Can you tell us about a strong woman in your life?
Well, among our people, there's not any question about women being strong, even stronger than men. They work in the fields right along with the men. When your survival is at stake, you don't have these questions about yourself like middle-class women might. My mother was a dominant force in our family, and that was great for me as a young woman because I never saw that women had to be dominated by men. My mother never made me do anything for my brothers like serve them because, and I think that's an important lesson in Latino culture because women are expected to be the ones to serve and to cook and whatever. Not in our family. Everybody was equal. A woman's place in history has never been given the attention it needs to be given, and that's why we have a lot of misogyny in our society today. That's the history of the world. His story is told. Hers isn't. We as women should shine a light on our accomplishments and not feel egotistical when we do. It's a way to let the world know that we as women can accomplish great things. We need women in civic life. We need women to run for office. We need women to be in political offices. We need a feminist at the table when making decisions so that the right decisions are being made.
Amen, baby. Amen. So what is the most important part of democracy to you?
I think organized labor is a necessary part of democracy. Organized labor is the only way to have fair distribution of wealth. If we don't have the workers organized into labor unions, we're in great peril of losing our democracy. The great social justice changes in our country have happened when people have come together and organized, took direct actions. It's this right that sustains and nurtures our democracy today. The civil rights movement, the labor movement, the women's movement, The equality movement for our LGBTQ brothers and sisters, these are all manifestations of this right. So when a group of people get together, it's collective power. You know you're doing it for the greater good. Also, to everyone, exercise your right to vote. If you don't vote, everything stays the same. You can protest until the sky turns yellow or the moon turns blue, and it's not going to change anything if you don't vote.
Agreed. Absolutely. Dolores, what advice would you give to the youth today?
What I like to share with people is that what we have to give our children are our values. Like, not so much material, but a social conscious. Giving kids clothes and food is one thing, but it's so much more important to teach them that other people besides themselves can use in service. So you have to involve them at a very young age. And so they grow up knowing that they have the power. You have to, I think that's the biggest thing that I gave to my 11 children. We must use our lives to make the world a better place to live. Let's teach the kids at the kindergarten level what the contributions of people of color were building the United States of America.
I couldn't agree more. How do you inspire others to join the movement and fight for farm workers? How did you succeed in the end?
Well, I think we brought to the world, to the United States anyways, this whole idea of boycotting as a nonviolent social tactic. So I think we showed the world that nonviolence can work to make social change. And the thing about nonviolence is that it spreads. So when you get people to participate in a nonviolent action like a fast or a march or a boycott or a picket line, people hear you, people see you, and people are learning from that action. Don't be a marshmallow. Walk the street with us into history. Get off the sidewalks. Stop being vegetables. Work for justice. Viva el boycott.
So you got us all excited, Dolores. Can you teach us some more?
Oh, sure, claro que sí. During a 25-day protest fast in Phoenix, Arizona, back in 1972, I started saying to people, "Sí se puede," which means, yes, we can. Does that sound familiar? Because if it does, you might remember President Obama borrowed this slogan from me. So that became the slogan of our campaign in Arizona and in the immigration movement right worldwide, on posters. We can do it. Sí se puede. Yes, we can. I can do it. You can do it. Sí se puede. Repeat after me. Sí se puede. Yes, we can. 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 Want another one? When I say, "Down with injustice," you guys say abajo, which means down in Spanish, okay? Let's practice. Down with injustice. Abajo. Down with violence. Abajo. Down with inequality. Abajo. Down with hate. Abajo. Down with sexism. Abajo. Down with prejudice. Abajo. Down with transphobia. Abajo. And then that was very great. Muchas gracias. I have one more that we can chant together. Are you ready? This is the one I was saying on my way in, so you will chant it with me on my way out. It's El pueblo unido jamás será vencido, which means the people united will never be divided. The people united will never be divided. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. The people united will never be divided. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El people united will never be divided.
Well, she's left the room, but thank you, Dolores. That was so invigorating and inspiring. We appreciate her willingness to visit us today and enjoy the story of helping farm workers. Just so you know, that is a picture, a pretty modern picture of Dolores. She's 94, I believe, right now. So I mean, that was a young Dolores that came in with us, so.
Thank you. In honor and gratitude of the harvesters, please rise in body or spirit if you are willing or able, and join us in singing our responsive hymn, Our Praise We Give, number 294 in the gray hymnal. The words will also appear on the screen. Please join me in affirming our mission statement. By building a loving religious community that nourishes the spirit, celebrates life, and cherishes the connectedness of all things, we transform ourselves and our world. Generosity is a spiritual practice, one that enlarges the heart and lightens the spirit. For no matter how much or how little we have, in the sharing of it, both the one who gives and the one who receives are blessed. Allergies. As an independent Unitarian Universalist congregation, we depend on your financial support to pay our staff, maintain our beautiful campus, and to offer meaningful worship services and religious exploration programs. We appreciate your generosity and will be good stewards of your contributions. If you are here with us today in person, collection baskets will be passed, or you can take your offering to the basket in the back. If you are joining us virtually, you can make your offering by mailing a check to the church or by going to the uucnh.org website, finding the link in the upper right-hand corner that says donate and making a contribution. If you would like to make your separate donation for our Share the Plate recipient this month, which is Hearth, please do so by placing your donation in our blue envelopes. If you are visiting with us for the first time, please feel free to let the basket pass. The morning offering will now be given and gratefully received. Please join me in dedicating the offering. You will see the words on the screen. May these gifts and the work of our hands and heart give power to all we stand for as a community of faith.
So in rare form, no one came up to me today and told me there was an announcement. I'm just saying. I don't know if people just didn't know it was me, but there's been a lot on the slides. I know we have a Meet the Church coming up. Do you know what day? 2 weeks, Meet the Church. So if you're new to the church, you're welcome to come and meet us and learn a little bit about our church. And that's in 2 weeks, and it'll be after the service, right? Okay. I don't know if there's any other ones. Speak now or forever hold your peace. What?
In 1 month, Sisters in Spirit will have a welcome to new members, and that's on the second Wednesday of the month.
In 1 month, Sisters in Spirit will have a welcome to new members, and that'll be on the second Wednesday of next month, just to let you know. Thank you. All right, so let's extinguish our chalice. Our chalice, can't speak today. Our chalice extinguish quote is another from our wonderful Dolores Huerta. Every moment in an organizing is an organizing opportunity. Every person, a potential activist. Every minute, a chance to change the world. So I am not of the opinion that we're not supposed to say words together, so we're going to say some more words together. I think a couple of weeks ago we were told not to do that, or they were saying that we don't want to do that, but we're going to do it again if you guys don't mind. So join me in saying our closing words together and in unison reading on heritage. This is by author Leslie Takashi, and the words will be on, oh, they're already there. Okay. For those who came before us, may our gratitude be long and lasting. For those who came after us, may we be strong stewards of the commandments. May each of us know our mortality of the larger frame revealed through community, and may we have transformation. Thank you. And now the choir will be our postlude today.
needed